Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jake with Gaming Soup, and just so you guys know, you may hear my son in the background. He's starting to do that baby talk stuff, so just ignore it. But in today's gaming news, there is nothing. Instead, I'm going to be talking about PC versus console gaming. I know there's a lot of videos about this on YouTube. I just wanted to give you guys my opinion. Now, for a little bit of my history, I was a console gamer for a good 16 years, and just about 2 to 3 years ago, I switched to PC gaming, and the experience has been amazing. The first PC I got was an Alienware X51 Revision 1. It was a basic bitch PC. It had 6 gigs of RAM, an i3 3220 processor, an NVIDIA GTX 645, and a 1 terabyte hard drive. Nothing too crazy, basic bitch shit. I dove into PC gaming knowing nothing about it. Do I regret buying it? No, I don't. Was it overpriced? Hell yes it was. It was way overpriced. But for a first gaming computer, it was great. It blew the PS3 and Xbox 360 out of the goddamn water. And I still have it, and it runs games still at 1080p to 720p. Of course, with everything on low settings, on the lowest it can go, but it can still run it and manage to get sometimes 30 frames per second or a little bit more. But just by changing the platform I play games on, it opened a whole new world for me. I found something that I didn't know I was interested in, and over the past 3 years, I've learned so much about PCs. I can now go into a store or anywhere that sells PC parts, and in like 5 minutes have a PC built that will run games no problem, and if not better than the consoles. What I'm saying is that trying something new isn't necessarily a bad thing. It could open a whole new world for you. Now, let's get on with some pros and cons for PC and console gaming. I'm going to start with pros for the PC first. Number one has to be that PCs are cheaper, especially if you build your own. If you get it from a place like CyberPower, iBuyPower, or Digital Storm, then yes, you are going to be spending more money. And I think this is where some people get the impression that PCs cost a lot of money because they see that, let's say, $800 price tag for a PC on CyberPower. But in reality, if you buy all the parts yourself and build it, you can probably get it for $550 to $600. And those prices that you see for $600, you can probably get it for around $400. And that's a price for a console. And 9 times out of 10, the PC will most likely outperform it. And that's where most people shy away because they think building a PC is really hard. Trust me. Trust me, I'm not the smartest crayon in the coloring book. See, I just messed that whole thing up. So, if I can do it, any monkey can. I will leave a link down in the description to a PC build that will cost you about the same as a PS4. Just note the prices for PC parts do fluctuate. Also, I'll leave down in the description 3 videos to teach you how to actually build a computer. Alright, also, games on PC are a hell of a lot cheaper. You can save anywhere from 10 to 70% on a game if you buy it on PC. Places like Steam, when they have their sales, and third-party retailers like G2A, Green Man Gaming, and CD Key. I just recently picked up Assassin's Creed Black Flag from G2A for $5. That's not a bad deal. I'm pretty sure its retail is, I'm pretty sure it's $39. If I'm wrong, don't quote me on it. It's $5. You can't beat it. And I never pay over $40 for any game. I haven't paid $60 for a game since I switched from console. It's a hell of a lot cheaper is all I'm saying. The second best thing has to be customization. You can pick which operating system you want. You can pick Windows, Linux, you can pick SteamOS. SteamOS is actually free, so if you're building a PC and wanting a console experience, there you fucking go. It also works with Windows. If you just want a normal everyday computer, but also want a console experience when you're playing a game, that experience is still available with Steam Big Picture Mode. It's the same exact thing that you are seeing right now. I'm actually using it. Another thing, you can pick which parts you want to have in your computer. You are not limited. You can upgrade whenever you want. You can make your computer glow rainbow colors. And you're not just limited to a controller. Yes, you can use a controller, but you can also use keyboard and mouse. If you want, you can use a PS3 controller, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, one of those Logitech ones. Fuck, you can use Wii nunchucks. You can use a GameCube controller. It's just endless. You can have one monitor. You can have 3. You can have 6. You can do so much with a PC. It's just endless customization. You can pick the color of your case, anything. It's just what you want. Number 3 has to be software and control. Let's start with control. It's your computer. You're the fucking captain of that bitch. If you want your fans to be off, turn those bitches off. If you want to run them all on max, you can do that. If the game is not running well, you can turn the settings down to fix that. You have a lot more control than just that. That's just a basic idea. Now, with software, if you're a YouTube creator, your PC should be your best friend. You have editing software like Sony Vegas, Premiere Pro, Photoshop, and if you record gameplay, you don't need to get an external device like an Elgato to record. You still can, but there's software to replace the need like DxStory or Bandicam. Or if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can download the GeForce Experience, which is an amazing piece of software. It has this thing called Shadowplay, and that's its gameplay recorder. That's what I use. That's not all the software offers. It offers game optimization. So if you're not sure which settings to run your game at, go into the software, go to games, click optimize. It's that easy. You can also update your graphics card drivers. Now this is both a pro and a con. Most people just like to plug their system in and play whatever game they want. That's not even much of a hassle. It's just a couple clicks and you're done. You have voice recording software. There's a lot more, but that's just the kind of software that I use. Number 4 has to be free-to-play games, exclusives, and mods. Yes, I'm aware that there are free-to-play games on consoles, but not as many as there are on PC. Also, PCs have MMOs, a lot more than the consoles. But just to name a few free-to-play games, there's Triad Wars, Nosgoth, and Hawken. That's just to name a few. And as for PC exclusives, there are a ton, like the upcoming Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, Battlecry, the list goes on. There are hundreds. And the PC has mods, and a lot of them. Yes, I know you can mod some console games, but not to the extent of what PCs can. When you're able to mod a game, the replay value of that game it's just endless. People are still playing Skyrim. People are still playing Fallout. Those are just more of the popular games that people like to mods. Mods just give a game a longer lifespan. And who doesn't want that? You buy a game, you want it to last as long as it possibly can. Number 5 has to be backwards compatibility, performance, and graphics. Now, if you buy a game on the PC, you have it forever, and you can play it whenever you want. It doesn't disappear. If you want to play it 20 years from now, go ahead, do it. You can't do this on console. Once you get a new system, you have to leave all your games behind. Yes, I know Xbox One has backwards compatibility, but that is if the game's developer gives Microsoft permission to do that. Now, you don't need permission on PC. You just fucking play it. Now, on with performance and graphics. Games normally run a lot better on PC. You will get better frame rate and overall a better looking game. And trust me, your eyes can tell the fucking difference between 60 frames per second and 30. And the same goes with 144 frames per second. You can tell the difference. Believe me, you can hear my son. He's even saying it's true. You hear him? That's proof. There are a lot more pros for PC, but you probably get the point. Now, let's go on to the cons. Number 1 has to be terrible PC ports. Some developers can care less about PC because sometimes their biggest fan base is on consoles, so they just don't give a shit about PC players. They just give a big ass middle finger to us saying, fuck you guys, like that shit Ubisoft does. They cater more to the console, but I think they're starting to come around, and that's a good thing, but I just wish developers would show equal support for each platform. Number 2 has to be PC elitists. I cannot stand them. They annoy the living shit out of me. If one small thing is wrong with the game, and I mean something so small as a graphics option in the graphics menu, all they will do is bitch and complain. When Batman Arkham Knight was released, it was a bad port. Me personally, I didn't have that many problems. I love the game, but a large number of people were complaining about the smallest thing, like ambient occlusion. All it does is determine how much fucking light should be shining on a goddamn object just to give it a more realistic fucking look. How many people play games and just look for this kind of shit? Show of hands? Yeah, no one? Okay, I thought so. Also, that Lord Gaben shit pisses me off. I don't understand why they say that shit. I don't care if it's a fucking joke. It's just fucking annoying and retarded. They're annoying little fucktards. Next. Number 3. This one isn't that big of a deal for me, but it may be for other people. It's that everyone has different hardware, so it's not always a level playing field like it will be on console. Some people may have a faster refresh rate on their monitor, and it could give them an advantage. Some people could have programmable buttons on their mouse, and that could give that person an advantage. As on console, everyone has a controller, everyone has the same hardware. Number 4, most people don't like to spend time updating drivers. It's a hassle sometimes. Nvidia makes it easy though. You can update with just a couple clicks, but sometimes you can run into problems with your drivers with certain games. Number 5 has to be troubleshooting. Not everyone has the same components as you do, so if you encounter a problem, you have to find it and fix that problem yourself. Most of the time, you can't just go on a forum and find your solution. It could be hardware related, it could be software related causing your problem. And if you have a console and you encounter a problem, you go on a forum and 9 times out of 10 you'll find someone who had the same problem you're having and you'll find a solution for it. Now, that's just the pros and cons for the PC. Now, on to the pros for the console. Number 1 has to be that the consoles are user-friendly. This is the main reason why people go to console. They can plug it in, turn it on, and there you go. You're ready. That's it. And if there's an update, it updates automatically. Also, some people don't like the thought of upgrading parts. Sometimes it may be necessary, but most of the time, you won't need to upgrade your PC for a few years unless you have a really low-end PC. Number 2 has to be multiplayer. Most games on PC don't offer split screen, so if a friend came over, you can just plug a controller in and play. Now with PC, you can kind of do it, but sometimes you have to share a keyboard, or one person uses a keyboard and one person has to use a controller, and that's not very convenient. Number 3 has to be having a level playing field. If you're playing a game on console online, everyone has the same hardware, everyone is using the same controller, and nobody really has an advantage. Yes, some people could have those modded controllers, but it's still overall a more level playing field than it would be on PC. Number 4, troubleshooting. If there's a problem with your console, 9 times out of 10, someone else has had that same problem you're having, and you can do whatever they did to fix the problem. Also, you have customer support you can call if you can't find it, and they will most likely help you out, and if not, then you'll just send your console to them and they'll fix it, which is kind of a pro and a con. Number 5 for me has to be the exclusives that are on the consoles. Yes, there aren't as many exclusives on console as there are on PC, but the ones that are on console, in my opinion, are just amazing to me. Like Kingdom Hearts, I love that fucking game. I would buy 2 copies of that just because I love it that much. Also, some games aren't that popular on PC, are popular on console. Like Call of Duty, for instance. Advanced Warfare died in about 3 months, but on console, it's still kicking. Now let's move on to the cons. Number one has to be the console is limited on what it can do. If you're a creator, you can't really rely on the console to do what you need it to do. There are limited accessories, you can't edit game settings, you can't have multiple screens, you can't upgrade them. That's both a pro and a con in a way, but come on, if you can upgrade your console, that would be pretty cool, and we can just take that away from a con and actually make it a pro, but you can't do that with console. There's no room for upgrade. What you get is what you get. That's it. Number two has to be the fanboy community. Both console and PC have a part of their community that's just straight up shitty. And the ones I'm talking about are the people who are claiming that the PS4 is more powerful when both consoles are pretty much the same exact thing. And some of the fanboys who claim that you can't tell the difference between 30 frames per second and 60, and they're not willing to try anything different. They just automatically hate it if it's different. Number three has to be this whole craze of remastering games that were on the Xbox 360 and PS3. Developers wanting to bring them to the new consoles it's really irritating. They're just trying to make a quick buck and people buy into it. Like I said before, on PC, once you have a game, you can play it forever. Don't do it. Don't buy so-called remaster games. Now, there is an exception if you're remastering a game that's 10 years old compared to a game that's only 2. I can understand if it's that old, or just remastering a game from like the 90s. That's pretty cool. Not a game that's only 2 years old, or 3, or 5. No, that's too young in its life cycle. Number 4 has to be paying to play online. That has to be the most retarded thing I have ever heard of. A lot of people say, well, you'll get better service if you pay for it. No, you don't. Remember the whole Lizard Squad thing? That's a ridiculous name, by the way. So much for paying $60 a year for that so-called secure connection to PSN or Xbox Live. And, oh yes, you get free games each month. No, it's not free. You're actually paying them. It's just a thing companies do to make it seem like you're getting something out of the whole fucking service when you're really not. You're just giving them more money just to play online. That has to be the stupidest shit, is paying to play a game you bought. Number 5 is that you can be console banned. That is the shittiest thing ever. You can't be banned on PC. Though you can be banned from games, but you have to try really, really fucking hard for that to happen. Just the fact that you can be banned on your console and it's basically unusable. That's pretty shitty. You pay $300 for it, and just because you called someone a bitch online, they're gonna ban you. That's pretty shitty in my opinion. And that's all I have. And like I said, my preferred platform is PC, but I'm not saying console is bad. It has its pros and its cons, same with PC. These aren't all the things that make PC and console gaming good or bad. These are just my opinions and how I feel about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like rating and let me know down in the comments which platform you prefer and why you prefer it. Also, don't forget to check the PC build I left in the description, and don't just be fixed on one thing. Try something new. You may like it. You never know. Also, comment, rate, subscribe, tell your grandma, and peace.